France 2-1 in the World Cup semi-final in 1998. Blanc and Bilic were involved in a scuffle in the box.
The referee's not happy with that. He wants it retaken. There was some scuffling going on in the penalty area, which he spotted.
Bilic goes down as if his head's been hit. The referee buys it. Blanc takes the walk of shame.
Blanc was sent off for the first time in his career, but the real shock was about to be revealed by the replays. He'd hardly touched him.
Imagine in the World Cup semi-final being sent off for someone feigning an injury, for someone grabbing their feet and drop. I mean, it was horrendous.
Blanc was off, but justice was done as 10-man France won the semi-final. Despite the whole world being able to see what happened, FIFA refused to lift Blanc's ban. There would be no final for either of them.
Blanc handled that with dignity when you think about it. Can you imagine being suspended wrongly for a World Cup final?
Current Chelsea assistant coach and part-time Uncle Fester impersonator Ray Wilkins did something no English player had ever done at the 1986 World Cup.
And a red card has been shown to Ray Wilkins.
When Ray Wilkins got sent off, we thought it was something of nothing.
The Ray Wilkins sending off just seemed completely unnecessary.
At a time when a two-footed leg breaker followed by a karate chop might get you a yellow, the sending off came as a huge shock.
He ends up throwing the ball at the ref. It's an attack on the referee. Pretty serious one, if it weren't for the fact that it looked like it was a right-handed 5-year-old girl throwing a ball with her left hand.
I mean, there was nothing to it at all. It went in the direction of the referee. There must have been some FIFA directive, red card. Wilkins, like...
Back then, it just seemed an innocuous situation where he threw the ball away, and to be sent off was, I thought, was ridiculous.
So England down to 10 men and everything going wrong.
It was the only sending off of Wilkins' career, but for England, it was just the beginning. More of that later. You're being watched by 500 million people, and so if you score a goal, you'd better celebrate in style. But what kind of numpty would try and pull off a ridiculous, rehearsed and contrived celebration? In 2002, a delighted Rio Ferdinand scored his first goal for England.
I got an early goal, which was brilliant, and I'm claiming it.
They say it's Rio's goal. How he's managed to claim this, I do not know.
Is that keeper Thomas Sorensen doing his best clown impression?
It wasn't even going in the direction of their goal.
You say you're claiming it, and in doubt in your mind it might get taken away from you?
No.
Very convincing. But what followed was even more clown-like.
Well, if the cameras were on me, they'd have seen me do a little jig.
Unfortunately, the cameras did find him, and it was horrible.
He's the greatest that's all.
That first few split seconds after you've scored a goal, you're just uncontrollable.
He's just completely lost the plot. So he kind of wants to do his dance, and it's kind of just turned into like a little, like, he doesn't know what's going on, he's just all over the gap.
Apparently you've been giving the Force a bit of stick for lack of celebrations, haven't you? Were you happy with yours today?
Yeah, I was, to be honest. Yeah, I showed him a bit of rhythm and that, so...
I think the Peckham came out of him there. I think when Rio done that was for the lads at home. Like, yeah, that was for you guys. That was for you guys. So we appreciated that, Rio. We loved it.
Rio's jig also gained him access to a special VIP club of shocking goal celebrations, where Roger Miller shakes his hips, Brazilians shake their babies, and English fans shake their heads. Where this fella's caught in the net, this bloke's caught short, and these guys are just caught looking ridiculous. But of course, none of them are as classy as this. Ireland made their World Cup debut at Italia 90. They were supposed to turn up, play 3 games, have a few beers and go home.
It was like a club team playing international football, and so, you know, we had probably as good a spirit as anywhere in the world, you could say.
And despite a little of that spirit being 40% proof, they shocked everyone and qualified for the knockout stages.
We all thought, right, every game is going to be a bonus, every game is going to be like the World Cup final for us now, and let's see how far we can go. The Irish fans were the best anywhere.
Well, the Irish won the singing about 5-0.
We went out the same attitude of, you know, let's give it a go and let's see where this one takes us.
And where it took them was to the dreaded penalty shootout. It was a masterclass of penalty taking. That is, until Romania's last kick.
Barely a run-up. Oh, and it's been saved!
Ireland just had to score their final penalty to win, but everyone was gobsmacked to see who was going to take the most important kick in Irish football history.
I always wanted to take a penalty. I think everybody was shocked when I was the one that stepped up.
As solid as a rock as he is in defence, he's not the real, you know, your number one choice, is he, to walk forward and bury a penalty.
I always thought I'd love to test myself in a situation. It could be like the last putt in a major and see could you do it all on your own route, relying on teammates.
Come on, David, just knock it in.
It was a long walk. You see the goalkeeper, you see the referee there waiting for you. You're hearing nothing really. You're hearing a stillness of thousands upon thousands behind that goal. Still, everything is in your hands. And step back, take your run up.
Everyone thought he was going to miss.
Ireland! They are in the last 8 and the party can begin.
I see this explosion of green behind the goal. Biggest mistake, standing still. Nearly got killed by all my teammates. My wife had stepped outside, he couldn't watch it. And my son, he was 6 years of age at that time, rushes out and said, "Daddy scored." She said, "Don't be so daft." It was fantastic, it was a great memory.
It's one of the World Cup's funniest ever songs. Scotland's 1978 effort, Ali's Army, a tub-thumping anthem about how they'd win the trophy.
When we win the World Cup.
They went out in the first round. Then, 20 years later, they shocked everyone by going to the other extreme, depressing realism.
Don't come home too soon. That was all we could think of to sum up the hopes and ambitions of the Scottish football team in France '98. Thanks, Delamitri. Thank you.
Just don't come home too soon.
I wanted to write a song that was quite maudlin, that was about, you know, disappointment, and also about the fact that everybody thinks we're shit, you know.
Don't come home, that was it. Oh, we'll see you very soon is what it should have been called.
The song was written for completely honourable reasons, but it was allowed to be used as the official song for completely cynical commercial reasons, which I can hold my hands up and say I didn't stop it.
That was like the longest lyrical suicide note in Scottish football history. It sort of summed up what being Scottish is all about. Just don't be too rubbish.
Just don't come home.
We were kind of forced to have the squad sing on it, and the squad were forced to sing it, and you could tell the squad just couldn't be arsed doing it. And all I really remember is that Andy Gorham is one of the most frightening men you'll ever meet, sitting in front of this sort of ring of players. And after the first take, he just refused to sing and just kind of stared me down. And all I thought was, he's going to kill me. I'm a dead man. I had an old guy come up to me in a pub not long ago and say to me, "Are you the bloke that wrote Don't Come Home Too Soon?" "Yes, I am." And he just said to me, "You should be ashamed of yourself."